we keep seeing these clashes between protesters and police. Protesters throwing rocks at police. Police responding by firing tear gas and stun grenades. We're just a few blocks away from Tahrir Square. We should point out most of these protesters are young men, 20-something teenagers. Hard to say if they're here fighting for democracy or here to cause some trouble.
Yes, good Morsi! Yes, good Morsi! Yes, good Morsi!
Those were chants of down with President Morsi, down with President Morsi. We're now starting to see these protests and clashes take place in cities outside of Cairo. In the northern city of Damanhur, the first fatality of these protests. According to the Muslim Brotherhood, 15-year-old Islam Masood was killed when anti-Morsi protesters attacked the Brotherhood's offices there. Masood hit in the head with a club and pronounced dead before he arrived at the hospital. This is some of the violence that's taking place. Let's go to Tahrir Square where things are a little bit more peaceful. Things much calmer here in Tahrir Square where you have a few thousand people gathered here. About 40 tents, very much reminiscent of the 2011 Egyptian revolution. You have food stands, people selling tea. Here's a tea stand right here. And lots of people talking politics. If you look at these groups here, these are all people that are debating their political positions and demanding that Mr. Morsi rescind his controversial decrees.
Yeah, to start with, I want these decrees to be withdrawn. And secondly, I would hope that he starts to listen to the rest of the people.
I am willing to stay until we oust him, just like we did with Mubarak. And we're going to oust him. And he's bringing it down upon himself.
On Sunday, factions opposed to Mr. Morsi continue to make moves to apply political pressure on the president. Egyptian Nobel laureate and pro-democracy activist Mohammed El Baradei calling on Mr. Morsi to rescind his decrees. On Saturday, you'll recall, a judges group calling for a nationwide judges strike. It's not clear how many judges are going to heed that call because, remember, a lot of judges here in Egypt support Mr. Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood, and so do a lot of Egyptians. Supporters of Muslim Brotherhood have called for demonstrations throughout the next few days, and that's why there's a lot of drama that comes with these developments. You have Mr. Morsi seemingly entrenched in power, the Muslim Brotherhood movement taking on opposing factions who are mobilizing, demanding for him to rescind his decrees. Reza Sayed, CNN, Cairo.